part two to why I gave up doing house parties and the time I almost got attacked. So this is part two. So go back and watch part one for the first part of that story. This is now part two to that. Anyway, this is a completely separate situation. So this time I get to outside of the house, and I didn't drive, so I was driven there and drove quite a far away from Glasgow city centre to get to where we were going. And so anyway, drive probably about an hour from the city centre, get to outside. I am opening myself up to spirit at this point, and I open up and my spirit guides say, "You're not working tonight." And I was like, okay, that's not often that's happened, and I was like, okay. And I, very politely said, well, why? And they said, "You're not working tonight." And I was like, oh, okay. And I said to the person that was with me at the time, and I was like, oh, I'm not to do this. And it was kind of met with a little bit of a frostiness. And I was like, all right, okay. And I said to my guys, right, I'm just going to go. And they're like, it's not safe. And something just fell off in that moment. I don't know if it was just me reacting to that or my guides make me feel that. I don't know. But hey, and at that point, I had noticed people coming down the street, and they were very heavily on drugs. You could very clearly tell, and they go up this path. So I was like, I need to phone this person and tell them. So I phoned them. I was like, hey, I'm outside. I'm going to come to your door. I want you to know, like, I'm really, really sorry, but my guides have told me I'm not to work tonight. And the woman was like, why? And I was like, I don't know. They've just told me no. But I wasn't going to say they were told me because it was unsafe. So I get out and I go that way, and who I was with said, no, it's that way. And it turns out it's the path that those people went up. I thought it was actually behind me. So I then go about and I walk up. I'm off the phone at that point, and I walk up and she's opened the door. And remember in part one, I said that, only the people that I'm having the reading for that evening, if at all possible, it's just them in the house. And I go up the path and I'm met with this wall of like almost this resistant energy, like two magnets that are trying to push against each other. Basically that. And I was walking towards the door, and I kind of walked forward and then stepped back a few steps. And I was like, I'm really, really sorry. Like, my guides are just not there. They're just not letting me connect and whatever. And I just had to make this woman a very quick story. Obviously no money had been exchanged or whatever, so it was fine. So it was just obviously a letdown for them, but it was also a letdown for us because we had driven all this way. And those two experiences from part one and this part two happened very, very much at the same time. This one was first, and the one I just done in part one was the final straw. And so I decided in that moment as well that I needed to really, really listen and trust more in my guides. And I really, really think that we have to really give credit to that. Mavis, my mentor, had always spoke about Emma Hardinge-Britten, and the story that she loved was that Emma was on a train and was told by Spirit, get off the train, and she ignored it. And again, get off the train, and she ignored it. And the third time, and she got up and lifted her case and got off the train in the middle of nowhere. And it was kind of a moment of absolute trust. And so from that story and the teachings of Mavis and being always trusting and knowing my guides had me, trust. Don't ever think that Spirit don't have your back.